5. We back, man. Welcome back to the Golden Goose DFS show. I am your host, Chandler Blakely, aka Goose. We are the leaders in single entry 3 max and 20 max content. So if that's your particular style of play, man, you found the perfect home for you. Even if it's not, if you're just playing NBA DFS in general, this is one of the best spots you can be. Trust me, man, you won't be sorry. Hit the subscribe button, turn your notification bell on so you can be here rocking with me every day when the videos drop, alright? And please, y'all, do me one small favor. Can we get the video to 100 likes? Please and thank you, man. It's no sweat off your back. It's a small, kind gesture that brings some kindness your way, man. So get that good karma ball of energy rolling in your direction by hitting that like button over there, man. It's greatly appreciated. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. This is my starting 5 series. If you're new here, like I said, I got to go through this all the time because we're getting a lot of new subscribers. So just go through this. If this is your first time seeing it, man, this is my starting 5. When I bring you 5 plays, that's definitely going to be in my well, I'm going to say definitely. More than likely going to be in my player pool on DraftKings and FanDuel, all right? But before we do, we always got my lineup review going over the my best lineup from yesterday's slate. So let's get into that so we can give you what you came for in the starting 5. All right. Last night, man, rough one for me again. The problem with last night was I backloaded a lot of my lineups, as you can see by this lineup here. I backloaded a lot of my lineups by putting in like LeBron and AD and like 2 and 3 of those Portland players, just so I can have room to late swap and take advantage of the injury news as it came out after lock. But that ultimately was my downfall because you needed pieces from that first game. I think I might have had Porzingis and maybe like one Tatum lineup from that first game. You really needed more pieces from that first game, overtime game. You needed some Cade Cunningham, some Tatum. I think they was on the optimal lineup. But didn't have enough of that first game. And then all my plays for the rest of the night, I just got killed by minutes. Drummond only played 20 minutes. I had some Michael Porter Jr. who only played 22 minutes. Exum only played like 24 minutes. So just a lot of guys who didn't get the minutes they was expected. But this is my best lineup right here. This was in the $4.20 max over here. CJ McCollum, right at 10% on, gave you 40 fantasy points. I told y'all yesterday I was heavy on the Pelican side. I wanted some Ingram. I wanted some Zion. I got to those guys as well. Zion was the better play between the two of him and Ingram, but Ingram was still very solid. But I got to a lot of those Pelican guys. Had CJ here with 40 fantasy points. Got to some Marcus Smart at 5,400 once Ja was officially ruled out. Marcus Smart was just okay, 30 fantasy points from him. I paired him with Bane here just in case this Memphis offense had some fight in and it didn't turn into a blowout. They was able to compete a little bit with these Nuggets. I knew it would be from Bane and maybe a little chip in from Marcus Smart. But Bane at 15% only gave us 30 fantasy points. They just got handled by the Nuggets. At the power forward spot, Peyton Watson, just another ruler. I got to some of him as well, but didn't get to as much as I needed because I had more Michael Porter Jr., expecting him to have a bigger game. Peyton Watson was solid at 3,800, gave you 31 fantasy points. Actually one of the better value plays on the slate. Andre Drummond, once again, foul trouble, just got limited. He gave you 28 fantasy points in like 20 minutes. So if he get the normal 30, 33 minutes that he got last time out, he would have crushed again, but definitely fell for us here, but it got like 59-60% of the people. Malcolm Brogdon here. Another piece I wanted to get to, I got to him. I got to some Scoot Henderson and got to some Grant, as you can see. This is just the whole Portland stack right here. Brogdon at 18% gave you a 50 burger. Got to some Jeremy Grant at 69, 8% on. He got to a 49 as well. And then Moses Brown just let everybody down, man. Got the news that Reef was out probably about 10 minutes before the game started. So swapped to a lot of Brown, and that's just killed me. I already had Brown and Reef. I had a bunch of lineups with like Brown and Reef in there, just trying to play that game. When Reef was ruled out, man, I just had to build what I could. So ended up being a rough night for me. Backloading wasn't the way to go on tonight's slate. Ended up hurting me over here. On the FanDuel side, Just missed the money, just single entry over here. Had Kobe White, 23% on, only 23 fantasy points. Got Scoot over here at 35. He gave you an okay performance with 32. Got to some Jaden Hardy here. Thought we can get a little bigger performance from him. Cody Martin was a value play that I was on, that I was really on, and I don't know how he don't get more minutes here. I understand Bryce Miller played, but I thought there was plenty of ways for Cody Martin to get minutes. One, they want to play him and put him back in the rotation, and I thought if this game turned into a blowout like this, he could pick up more minutes. Didn't really happen. He only played like 20 minutes, gave you 14 fantasy points. DeMar DeRozan, 50% on, only 40 fantasy points, not nearly enough from him. Got Grant over here as well. Zion, I told you I was on him heavily with the rest of those Pelican guys. 34%, gave us 48 fantasy points. Went to LeBron here against the Hornets. I was a little nervous about him. I probably should have switched to AD, but I told the gang I was a little nervous about LeBron, fearing this blowout. When you playing, the reason why I take AD more than LeBron is for the simple fact that any chance they could rest LeBron, they are. Like, LeBron starts the game looking to get AD going and the others involved. If they get going and AD get cooking, LeBron just chill, sit back and play his role. If they get up big and blowing somebody out, he going to get his rest. That's the word you're going to have with LeBron every game. He wants to get AD going. Now, the games that AD doesn't have it going, that's when he'll take over. So, I was a little nervous for him, but wasn't a whole lot of pay-up options yesterday that I was in love with. So, got to LeBron here. And then Jalen Smith here at 41%, only 25 fantasy points from him. Didn't help you that much, but he didn't hurt you either at 4,200 over here on FanDuel. All right. So like I said, rough one for us yesterday. Let's see if we can get this little skid corrected, get back in our lane, and move on towards this fantasy basketball world championship. I am gunning for it. If y'all don't know, I'm trying to take it there. But let's get into this starting five for the day. At the top, man, De'Aaron Fox, 9,400. Listen, I don't know how you don't get to this Sacramento-Atlanta game today. 250 total. I don't know how you don't get there. Get you some pieces from this game. However you got to do it. Switch it up. Get different. I like Fox. I like Young. I like a lot of pieces in this game. Like I'm sure a lot of people are. But Fox right now is my early favorite right here at 9,400. Give me him. I think this could be a nice battle between him and Trae Young, two young point guards in the league. I think you can see them get into it and have a nice game. I like getting the De'Aaron Fox right here at 9,400. At the shooting guard, I think we can go back to DeAnthony Melton, man. The price is coming up, 6,100. Tough matchup against the Houston Rockets, but he still has a guy that has 40-point upside, man. He in these matchups, right? So you look at Milton and Oubre, because you probably can go to Oubre right here for a little cheaper. But when I'm deciding between those two, I like to look at the matchup. In tougher games, where it's tough defense like you get with Houston Rockets, I like to look to Melton because he just does a lot more across the stat sheet: blocks, steals, assists, rebounds. When they're in a more open, free-flowing game, like they playing the Pacers or the Hornets or something, then I look to Oubre where it's more scoring because Oubre is a more aggressive scorer than compared to Melton. So I like Melton here at 6,100. Still think he has 40-point upside in his matchup against Houston. At the small forward spot, I want to go right back to my boy Tari Eason. He got to be in the starting lineup this time. Now, last time out with no Dylan Brooks out, they chose to go Jayshawn Tate. Now, you still have Dylan Brooks out, but you also have Jabari Smith Jr. out this game. So even if they don't want to put Eason in the starting lineup, it definitely should get him closer to 30 minutes. I know the price tag is up at $6,300, but if Eason get 30-plus minutes, he's a guy that can crush this price tag, man. He has 40, 50-point upside. I like getting to him here in this matchup against Philly. Go on and put him in that starting lineup over there, man. Get you some Tari Eason at $6,300. At the power forward, I want to look at Jalen Johnson, 6,300. Price is a little uncomfortable. I wish he was a little cheaper, but this game environment is it, man. Nice little run back with Fox here. And we saw Jalen Johnson come right back and step right back into his role. 30 minutes last time out. Now you get him in this matchup against the Kings. And if you watch me all year, I told you before, this is the type of game environment for Jalen Johnson. He's a guy that loves to play in transition, gets out and run. This is his type of game environment. He's another guy who has 40-point upside. He may even have a 50 and hasn't really flashed it this year, but he definitely has 40, 45-point upside, especially in a game with this high of a total that's going to be up and down. This is the perfect matchup for him, man. Sign me up for Jalen Johnson, even though I'm a little uncomfortable with the price, but just DK this season and how tight the pricing is, a lot of it's seeming like you're gonna have to pay a little more than you want for some players out here. And that's just due to the tight pricing on DK. So I'm okay with it. I would love for him to be about 6K, about 5,800 somewhere in there, but definitely take him right here 6,300, especially in this matchup. Then at the center spot, going right back to my boy Paul Reed. Now I know y'all gonna come on over the other day because of what he did last time, but I'm fine with that. He's still a solid play, as long as he can avoid the foul trouble. He can give you a nice return on this 5,300 price tag. So I know the ownership gonna be there today, but we're gonna get different in other spots. I like going right back to Paul Reed. There you have it, man. Your starting five for DraftKings: De'Aaron Fox, DeAnthony Melton, Tari Eason, Jalen Johnson, and Paul Reed. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure gonna be in mine. All right, let's go take a look at FanDuel and see what I'm looking at over there. At the top, man, staying with Trae Young, 10-2. Like I said, the price is up on these guards over here on FanDuel. They're starting to raise their pricing on the stars. So it's going to be, you're going to have to choose between which stars you like. I'm perfectly fine right here with Trae Young at 10-2, man. Like getting to him. I love the matchup. Like I said, I'm expecting a back and forth battle between him and Fox. I'm excited to watch this game and just see how it goes. But give me Trae Young, man. You know what he's capable of here in this spot. At the shooting guard, I want to look at Mikal Bridges. Now, this is more of a 20 max GPP play. I don't know if I necessarily put him in single entry because it is risky, man. His play has been down, but that in turn has brought his price down. Now, Mikal Bridges was a middling 8K, high 8K player earlier in the season. Now you get him at 7-3 in a great spot against these Washington Wizards, man. I definitely have some interest in him. Like I said, he might be a little too risky for a single entry because the play has just been so inconsistent as of late, but we know what he's capable of. We know the type of performances he can turn in. Hopefully he corrects what's been going wrong and can get back to his game here in this spot at 7,300. I like taking some chances on Mikal Bridges. Love the price tag, love the matchup and game environment. At the small forward, I want to look at Jae'Sean Tate over here at 3,800. Listen, 24 minutes last time. Not an impressive showing, but I love this price tag. And Jae'Sean Tate, he's a capable guy. He can get streaky and give you some points here. But most of all, man, I just love this price tag on him. On a guy that's going to be starting and should see 20 to 25 minutes here. Jae'Sean Tate's another guy who can do a little bit of everything. He's probably not going to look to score that much in this offensive lineup with guys like Sengun and Jalen Green out there getting the shots. He going to get in where he feel in. He going to get in where he fit in at, man. Little peripherals here and there. Hopefully he can find some shots to fall for us, but I'm definitely going to get to him at 3,800 if he's still in that starting lineup. At the power forward spot, I want to look at Domantas Sabonis, man. 10-4, little run back to Trae Young here. Like, listen, I'm going to be all over this game in different combinations. Like I know a lot of you are, man. You just want to get different and creative how you putting it together. But I like Sabonis here at 10-4. Nice matchup here against the Hawks, man. This is the game, man. 250. I'm not getting away from it. I'm just going to get different around it with everybody else out there. But this is the game. Like Sabonis down here. You can see fireworks in this matchup. And at the center, man, staying with Paul Reed. A little more expensive over here, $5,900, but perfectly well within his range, man. You saw him hit the 40-pointer last time. That'll be perfectly fine at this price tag here. We'll love a little more out of him, but hey, definitely going to be a little nervous. He's guarding Sengun over there possibly, so definitely worried about that foul trouble a little bit. It's a little risky, but definitely going back to Paul Reed here at $5,900, all right? There you have it, man. Your starting five for FanDuel: Paul Reed, Domantas Sabonis, Jae'Sean Tate, Mikal Bridges, and Trae Young. Get you some exposure to these guys. Get them in your player pools. They for sure gonna be in mine, all right? That's gonna do it for us here today, man. Y'all know the motto. Chances make champions. Y'all green up. I'll catch y'all next time, all right? Let's get it.